Welcome to Snacks Weekly on Data Science. This podcast is all about making data science and machine learning knowledge accessible and less intimidating. Today, we are going to talk about personal data. This topic is based on the tech blog with the title Personal Data Classification, written by the data science team at Airbnb. You will find the blog link in this episode's description. Throughout this discussion, we will explore the topic from both business and data science perspectives. Now let's dive in. On the business side, let's start by understanding the problem to be solved. Airbnb is a global platform that connects hosts with travelers seeking unique stays and experience. With a market cap exceeding $80 billion and over 150 million active users, Airbnb operates on a massive scale. It facilitates hundreds of millions of bookings annually. These transactions generate vast amounts of personal data. It is everything from the names of users to addresses to payment details and communication records. For a company of this size, safeguarding this personal data is not just a technical challenge. It is also essential for the company to maintain user trust and navigating complex global regulations. Investing in personal data protection is vital for several reasons. From a security and privacy standpoint, understanding where personal data resides ensures it is protected against data breaches and responsibly managed to maintain user confidence. Additionally, compliance with regulations like GDPR or CCPA requires companies to deeply understand their data landscape. For example, GDPR stands for General Data Protection Regulation. It is the European law that governs how personal data is processed and transferred. Under GDPR, companies must respond to user requests to delete or access their data with strict timelines. Accurate personal data classification is the foundation of these efforts, and it can enable companies like Airbnb to meet those stringent legal and ethical standards while continuing to operate their business globally. Now that we've outlined the business problem, let's dive into the technical solution side to see what was developed by Airbnb's data science team. Before any personal data could be classified, the team needed a clear framework to define what constitutes personal data in Airbnb's context. To address this part, they established a personal data taxonomy council, which is responsible for defining and refining a taxonomy tailored to Airbnb's ecosystem. This taxonomy categorizes personal data elements, such as email addresses, physical addresses, and guest names. Annotating data with these elements ensures it complies with security and privacy policy, and this provides the foundation for the classification workflow to begin. Now let's talk about the classification workflow. This process revolves around three key pillars: catalog, detection, and reconciliation. The first pillar, catalog. This one focuses on answering the questions like, what data do we have? Surprisingly, this question is very challenging to be answered. To identify and inventory all the data accessed the organization, by leveraging metadata, they created a process to automatically discover data sources, accommodating the diverse formats and locations of the modern data storage system. Despite the inherent complexity of data at this scale, their approach ensures it is comprehensive and organized with good coverage. The second pillar, which is called detection, addresses the question of what data might be personal. Using a detection engine, this system classifies personal data through various techniques. Simpler methods like regular expression patterns for email addresses and keyword lists for cities, those can be used to handle straightforward cases. For those more complex data, which may require contextual understanding, advanced machine learning models come into play. To maintain a high level of accuracy, the system also incorporates validation steps and applies a threshold to maintain false positive before storing the results. The third pillar, which is reconciliation. This pillar asks questions like, what classification do we trust? Not all detections are accurate, and some require additional context for correct classification. To resolve this challenge, the team employs a human-in-the-loop strategy. It allows data owners to review and confirm the classification results from the system. This step ensures the reliability of classification before those data policies are enforced. This strikes the right balance between the automation of detection and the accuracy of the enforcement. With this classification system built, to continuously improve its performance, Airbnb tracks 3 performance metrics: recall, precision, and speed. Recall measures the system's ability to comprehensively identify personal data, and the goal is to ensure no data is overlooked. Precision metric evaluates the accuracy of the classifications, with the goal to reduce errors and enhance the trust of this system. The third metric, which is speed, this metric gauges the efficiency of data identification and classification, with the goal to make it as fast as possible so that it can minimize compliance risks while maintaining the agility of the system. By combining a well-defined taxonomy, a robust workflow based on the 3 pillars, and ongoing performance measurement, the team built up this personal data classification system so that it can be both effective and scalable. And this is used to reinforce the commitment of the personal data security and privacy. Now we discussed both the business problem and the technical solution. Let's wrap it up. In this episode, we explored Airbnb's approach to classify personal data. We begin by understanding the business problem, highlighting the importance of protecting personal data. And then we examine the technical solutions, focus on the 3 pillars: catalog, detection, and reconciliation, which form the backbones of their classification workflow. Finally, we saw how performance metrics like recall, precision, and speeds can be put in place to ensure the system maintains reliable and improved continuously. If you like the content of this episode, please subscribe to the channel. Give me a 5-star review and leave a comment. Your feedback is very appreciated, and I'll see you next week.